you again for coming to my talk. And I'm Yudai Iwasaki from NTT. Today, I'd like to introduce the BOSH AutoScaler, which enables you to optimize the running cost of your Cloud Foundry deployments. First, let me tell you a bit more about myself. As I just said, my name is Yudai Iwasaki, and I'm working at NTT as a research engineer. My current primary job is developing Cloud PaaS, which is a public commercial PaaS service launched last year by NTT Communications. The Cloud PaaS is, of course, built with Cloud Foundry. I've been working on Cloud Foundry since 2012, and some of my tools I developed so far are published as open source software. So you may know me as a developer of BOSH or BOSH Cloud Stack CPI. Well, let's move on to today's agenda. The story of my talk is very simple. I'll show you the problem first, and then present how you can solve the problem with BOSH AutoScaler. So the problem is the system load of your Cloud Foundry deployment is not fixed. This graph shows a typical system load for a week. You have daily peaks and also weekly peaks in this graph. Of course, actual load of your system, actual load depends on your system. And however, you probably have also monthly and yearly peaks. If you have a variety of users and applications on your Cloud Foundry, the system load will be leveled to some extent. However, especially for private clouds, managing these peaks is a very important point to optimize the running cost of Cloud Foundry. So if you keep your Cloud Foundry deployment with resources that can cover all peaks, it would probably cost too much. Imagine that you have internal applications on your Cloud Foundry that are used only during business hours. The resources they consume in the day are not used at night. In other words, you have idle DEAs at night. These resources should be released at night for other workloads such as batch processing. Or more simply, if you are using a public IaaS service like Cloud and Compute or Amazon EC2, releasing resources directly reduces the cost of your Cloud Foundry deployment. So the idea is very simple and easy to understand. The problem here is how you can dynamically scale out and scale in your Cloud Foundry deployment according to real system consumption. In fact, it's hard to monitor your Cloud Foundry at all times and manually change the deployment size. No one wants to do such a boring task for 24/7, so we need to automate this important task to reduce the costs. The solution I'd like to introduce today is the BOSH AutoScaler. The BOSH AutoScaler takes care of your Cloud Foundry instead of you doing it. With the BOSH AutoScaler, you can reduce the running cost of your system with no difficulty. Well, the BOSH AutoScaler is literally an extension for BOSH. BOSH is, as you know, is a default delivery system tool for Cloud Foundry. So if you are using BOSH to deploy Cloud Foundry to your cloud, BOSH AutoScaler is the best way to provide autoscaling capability to your Cloud Foundry. You can define autoscaling policies in your deployment manifest and your Cloud Foundry deployment, such as scale out DEAs when the average CPU load of DEAs is higher than 1. Since this autoscaling works basically on the BOSH layer, so you can autoscale not only Cloud Foundry, but also Hadoop, React, and other BOSH releases as you like. And BOSH AutoScaler is designed to be pluggable, so you can add a plugin for specific release easily. By default, this AutoScaler has a plugin for Cloud Foundry, so you can also use the information retrieved from the Cloud Foundry layer. For example, the number of instances running on DEAs. So let's look at an overview of the BOSH AutoScaler architecture. This is an image of the BOSH AutoScaler architecture. The rectangle in the bottom is the BOSH AutoScaler and its components. So the BOSH AutoScaler has two main parts. One consisting of collectors and the other consisting of the scaler. Collectors are components for receiving information from input sources. For BOSH, the BOSH NAT scaler monitors the NAT server in BOSH and obtains heartbeat message from the NAT server. These messages include basic metrics like CPU and memory usage. With the Cloud Foundry plugin, you can also use the CF collector. With this collector, you can use various VAS metrics, which is you can retrieve from the collector component of Cloud Foundry. Yep. And the BOSH scalar component aggregates metrics from the collectors and match them against policies you defined in deployment manifest. If the state of the deployment satisfies the policy, this component will deploy an updated manifest with changed deployment size. Well, these components are not so important for users, so let's look at how you can define scaling policies in your deployment manifest. Sorry, characters are too small, I think. This is a sample policy for the Cloud Foundry Go router. To define policies, you can simply add scale section to your deployment manifest. This section will be loaded automatically by the BOSH AutoScaler. You can define the limit of the number of instances and how many instances will be added or removed at a time. And you can also define conditions to trigger scaling. You can use various condition classes for defining flexible policies. For the default BOSH heartbeat messages, you can use these classes listed on the slide. For example, you can define a condition like if 80% of memory is used on average for the last 300 seconds with these classes. With the Cloud Foundry plugin, the CF bars average class is available. You can define conditions using various VAS metrics with this class. Some examples of VAS metrics are listed here. So with these condition classes, you can define very flexible scaling policies as you like. And what's more important is you can apply your policies defined with these classes by simply deploying your deployment manifest to your BOSH deployment. So what you need to do is write policies in your manifest file and deploy it as usual. And the BOSH AutoScaler even has a web UI, which shows the details of your policies and actual captures metrics and event log. This web UI is automatically started. This web UI starts automatically when you launch the BOSH AutoScaler. So let's look at some screenshots. This main view shows your deployment and defined policies on them. You can confirm from this view that your policies are loaded correctly into your BOSH AutoScaler. You can see what condition. You can also see what conditions are defined and which are satisfied at the moment. You can also check what information is retrieved from BOSH and Cloud Foundry in this event view. From this view, you can confirm that your collectors are working correctly and metrics are stored correctly. You can also check what kind of fuzz metrics are available in this view. And you can also confirm the scaling log on the web UI. You can see when autoscaling was triggered on this log view. By using this web UI, you can operate the autoscaler more more effectively and without fail. Finally, let's see how to get started with BOSH AutoScaler. There is nothing difficult to start the BOSH AutoScaler. What you need to do is just cloning repository from GitHub and edit the configuration file according to your environment. And then launch a process. The configuration file of the BOSH AutoScaler is quite simple, as you see. What you need to change is only the host names and credentials of NAT server and the director server of BOSH. When you want to activate the Cloud Foundry plugin, you need to configure your Cloud Foundry deployment to send metrics to your autoscaler. This is also easy. Please add a new collector component and send TSDB metrics to your autoscaler. The manifest file would look like this. So you need to add only 7 lines to activate the plugin. So it's really easy. Question?
If you're already using data export to OpenTSDB to graph collector data, can you specify 2 OpenTSDB collectors, or
yes.
will that break?
Yes, you can create another collector only for this autoscaler. So, any other question? Okay. Oh, yes, please.
How do you avoid scaling crash?
Sorry.
How do you avoid scaling crash? I mean, a metric might be showing a threshold.
A threshold. Yeah.
You might be crashing a lot. Scaling up, scaling down.
Yes, actually, you can define threshold with these classes. So, let's see. It's too small, but in this example, you can define threshold larger than 80. So, if the CPU average is higher than 80% for 300 seconds, the scaling out will be triggered. So you can use these classes and rather larger than or smaller than definitions.
So it's very important how you choose those thresholds.
Yes, exactly. Let me. Okay. So once your BOSH AutoScaler is launched, please define scaling policies in your deployment manifest and deploy it. Then you have nothing to do after that. It's really easy to start and easy to use BOSH AutoScaler. So in summary, with the BOSH AutoScaler, you can optimize the running cost of your Cloud Foundry. It's easy to start, and you can autoscale your Cloud Foundry with very flexible policies. So please try the BOSH AutoScaler and let's save your precious resources. Thank you.